I've been making music for about 20 years, though on and off and mostly as just a hobby. This isn't my first game soundtrack, but the last one was 12 years ago, and it's definitely not up to my standards for today. The thing is, I've learned a lot since then, but I haven't really put it into practice with finished projects. So it's been a challenge figuring out what my process and my standards should be today. In case it's not obvious by now, I'm splicing together footage for multiple days, trying to salvage a bunch of failed experiments after recording mishaps and just not getting things done quickly enough, but I want to show you at least some real candid footage of my music making process. So here's one of the pieces I've been working on. You might have heard a version of this in a prior devlog, but I've deleted the percussion because I plan on redoing it, and I'm also migrating to another DAW, so I'm basically just exporting the MIDI or the note data, importing that into the other software, and then reconstructing from there. There's something special about the sound of a piano, and I love using that to explore melodic ideas, but I'm trying to avoid using real Earth instruments for most of this soundtrack because I don't imagine aliens would come up with something that sounds quite like that. I imagine synths are probably the closest we can come to a universal sound because many theorize that math is universal language, and that's kind of what it's all based on. Sine waves and harmonics and mathematical constructs that other civilizations might also come up with. It's probably fair to say that I've gone overboard in collecting hardware synths, but aside from being a hobby, I find them a great source of inspiration. Exploring the possibilities of sound design with each unique synth design can be a meditative experience, and along the way I almost always come up with some new idea that could serve as the basis for a new track. The problem is, I have hundreds of those ideas lying around now, and the real challenge is actually turning those ideas into a full-length finished piece. Especially since with Galactic Chef I'm targeting 5 minutes for the in-game cooking background music, and that's longer than I'm used to doing, which means I need to get clever with my arrangement and variations on themes to keep things interesting. I think a big part of my strategy there is going to be actually changing up the sounds as the song progresses, playing the same theme with a different sound, and maybe altering the notes a bit, timing and rhythm and such, to fit that sound better, while also giving you some interesting variety. So stepping back again and looking at the big picture, I do have a lot of work to do, but I've got some pretty well-developed ideas to start from. I just need to extend them, do some polish, some mixing work, and I do need to do some more mixing work on the music that's already in the game too. A few of those pieces are also placeholders that will get replaced, but I think this is shaping up well to be probably the best music I've ever made, and I think of all the things I could be proud of, that would probably be the most fulfilling to me. It's hard to say whether music or games is really my bigger passion. I've been doing both since I was a kid, and they're both very important to me, but luckily I get to do both. And I'm also incredibly lucky to have an audience this large to hear it. Most musicians never get that kind of audience. Even more shocking, the comments on this channel have been universally either positive and supportive or at least constructive feedback of some kind. You don't usually get that on YouTube. There's so much hate. It's notorious for that. So I'm incredibly lucky to be in this position and to have this audience. So as always, it really helps me out if you hit the like button, spread the word, and subscribe if you haven't already. But I really mean it when I say thanks for watching.